Hello. Hello. Sorry for it being so cold like that. Just jumping in right in. Hello. Welcome everyone to the new channel, to like the Shonarchist channel. I woke up Conarchist. Hello Conarchist and Fonarchist. Hell yeah. We got plenty of pirate anarchists. I guess I don't know if we're gonna count that though. Hello, Apple of Newton, Naro, Fonarchist, Gilwoj, Pirate Anarchist, Conarchist. How's everyone doing? We are streaming once again. And perhaps not for the last time this time. Do you know Ms. Gilwoj? New streamer, new hair as well. New hair. I was Pirate Anarchist long before you were Shanan Rakist. See? Can't even pronounce it correctly. I've been Shonarchist probably since 2017, 2018. Thank you, Naro, for the short hair compliment. I had to wet it this morning because, yeah, I woke up not long ago. Yeah, I cut it myself. Thank you very much. I cut it myself. Got a bit tired of the long hair, so yeah. I made, can I show you an artwork I made? Speaking of shitty art, I made an artwork out of my hair. Do you want to see it? Hell yeah. Let me go get it. I wasn't expecting this, but let me go get it. It's a self-portrait. Wait, there's some in front of my eye. I don't know if you can see. It's because my hair is very dark, so I don't know if you can tell what's going on. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lex, you are very lucky. This is a very rare sighting. Did you really have that much? Yes. I have a lot of hair. I have my hair is very thick. So yeah, that's the art I was making, and if I had to review it, I would give it 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10. Hello, Mr. Quimper, first time chatter. Everyone say hello to Mr. Quimper, first time chatter. All right. So in this stream, the goal here is we're gonna try out this new segment. I sent out a call on YouTube and on Instagram for artworks to review. I've been asked to review artworks for a long time on my YouTube channel. And we'll go into like the whole idea, because I'll turn this into like a YouTube video so I can call for more art. There's been a lot so far. I've got a backlog of artworks to go through now, which I'm very happy about. But I still want to, get people to send more. And from what I've seen, it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. But anyway, I always refuse to look at art and to review art because a lot of people are fragile about their art. It means a lot to them. I wouldn't say fragile, but it's really important to them. And if they come to me, it's because like if they ask me for my opinion, it's because like they value it. And if I say I don't like it, I'm afraid of hurting their feelings. That being said, in the post I was like, I'm going to hate on your art. It doesn't mean I actually will, but uh, I like to say that I'm an art hater. I don't like a lot of art out there. I go to a museum and the only art I might like is like 3 or 4 artworks or art pieces because I love art and because I love it, I'm passionate about it. And when I don't like it, I passionately don't like it. So we're going to go through that. We're going to have to deal with this. Oh yeah, it's been super hot as well. In Canada too, in Montreal. So I had to take it off. That probably has had to do something with it. Too bad I haven't done anything resembling art since 2020. Lex, you're you should feel you should feel privileged to not have to have me go through your art. I think it's gonna. I already know my stuff sucks. I don't need a streamer to confirm that. Perfect. There you go. That's the kind of attitude I like. Yeah, critique is critique. Feedback is feedback. If they submit it looking for validation, that's on them. Exactly. And you know what? Let's start the segment right now. Let's start the segment right now. So I did a call for artists to review your art. In my call for artists, I said I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it for a very long time because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But now I'm okay with hurting people's feelings. It'll be on stream. It'll be people. If people are aware that I'm not going to like it, and people are aware that it's going to be on stream for me to not like it on stream, I feel like your expectations are less about getting your art validated, and maybe more about it stirring up a reaction, right, in a streamer. And in that case, I'm okay with her like maybe saying it's not good. Who am I to review art online? Why are people sending me art online? I'm not an artist. Well, I mean, I am. You saw the artwork with my hair that I showed like 2 seconds ago. But that doesn't mean that, I mean, it's not real art. I'm not an artist. I'm not a self-described artist. I'm a video essayist on YouTube. But I think my engagement with art has been substantial enough to be able to give my opinion on art. Like I've looked at a lot of art in the past few years. My job for what, for 5 years now, I think, has been to write about art, and sometimes about fascism and sometimes about propaganda, but like mostly is to write about art and comment on art, look at art from the past, sometimes from today. So I feel like I've had to engage with a lot of art and engage with my understanding of why I like art and why I don't. So I feel comfortable looking at art and saying, these are the reasons why I like it, these are the reasons why I don't like it, and hopefully you can enjoy my reasoning behind liking artwork or not. That being said, the critiques of the artworks that I'm going to do, either it's yours or other artworks, is not one that's going to be formal. I'm not going to look at like the technique. I may recognize that the technique is really good and maybe even impressed by how good the technique is. But what I'm looking for is more like a personal appreciation. So that being said, it's not because I don't like it that other people won't like it. Maybe people in chat are going to like it. It's possible that I'm going to like some artworks and chat won't like some artworks. It's possible that I will like an artwork and then dislike another, and then chat will be like, how is it possible that you like this artwork but not the other? It's a really subjective appreciation of artworks that are going to be sent. So it's possible that other people are going to like it for different reasons. I'm just gonna look through art, try to explain my reasoning behind liking it or not liking it, and sometimes I may not understand why I like it or why I don't like it. But I think that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a not only looking at art, but also a reflection on what makes us appreciate art, right? Try to understand why we appreciate art by appreciating art. There's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that were a little bit, how do I say this? that were a little bit controversial in my post. One of which is let me go check it out. Whoa, I became really yellow. Well, yellow, I'll need to stay. Hello, Sneaky. Call me underscore. Look at all these people. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. There you go. So this was the call for artists, like on a community post. This here made it was, oh yeah, oh, little formatting issue. This here was a little controversial, both on Instagram and on YouTube, because I said I particularly dislike abstract art, furry art, or OC art, and art that solely displays technical skill. The reason why is because, well, my criticism of abstract art is going to need to like be a video in itself. But in a nutshell, here I say I don't care for aesthetics or for personal objectless expression. What I mean by that, aesthetics, I mean, a lot of people were surprised by that too. I'm not looking at art just because it's beautiful. I'm not looking to like just, stand there and be impregnated with beauty and with a sense of awe. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to get challenged. I'm looking to understand experiences, new ways of looking at the world. You know, there's different ways of engaging with art, and aesthetics is not one of them. That's number one. Objectless personal expression or whatever is when people are like, I do abstract art to express myself. And it's like, okay, well, what do you have to express? And it's just, oh, that's my feelings. Okay, but what the fuck should I care? Basically. You know, I care about, you know, my viewers and people who send me artworks, I guess, but like, why should I care about your feelings through an artwork? Oh, because I'm human. Okay, but there's like a lot of people who share their feelings because they're humans or whatever. You go at Winners, or I think in America they call it TJ Maxx, or like whatever big box store with like generic artworks that have abstract art, and it's like, that's probably someone who expressed themselves through abstract art, and then their art got bought or whatever because it meant something, or because it looked nice. I don't care about that. I don't look at art for decoration. I don't look at it for beauty. Blah 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 blah. Furry art or OC art, I think that speaks for itself, doesn't it? I hope it speaks for itself. At least furry art. And finally, technical skills. I mean, technical skills is really nice, but I'm not looking for something technical. I'm looking for something that's going to make me, you know, live something that's going to challenge me, that's going to make me think about something differently, about an experience, about whatever. We'll see. But how well you can draw or how well you can paint doesn't make me feel. Maybe some like admiration, like, wow, you spent a lot of time honing your craft. But that, I could feel that way for like a table. I could feel that way for someone playing a musical instrument, right? If someone plays Fur-Elise, I guess, on the violin, is that a violin piece? Or like, no, on the piano? You play Fur-Elise on the piano, like, wow, you have really great technical skills. But it's not going to move me. I'm looking for creativity. I'm not looking for just repetition of artistic codes. Okay. However, that being said, feel free to send anything you want. Send furry art if you think your furry art really stands out. Send abstract art if you think your abstract art really stands out. And you know what? Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I'll see your abstract art, and then you'll explain why it is the way it is, and I'll be like, oh, this is so strong. I love this. Who knows? So feel free to send whatever you want. Just keep in mind that I might not like it, and that's fine if I don't, because other people may like it themselves. Abstract furry art meant to show off your skills. You know what? If someone does that, I might actually like it. Can I submit last minute, or is the window closed? Says Naro. I believe it's always going to be open. If I enjoy looking at art, and then people enjoy it, and we can share it around, and people enjoy this kind of exercise, and I feel like there's something that I can gain from it, and you feel like there's something you can gain from it. We're gonna do it for however long we want. Debased says, I'm a fan of pure abstraction, but so much of it is derivative slop. That's how I feel as well. I feel like it's, well, I'm not a fan, but I do believe like a lot of it is derivative. I'm gonna make a video about it eventually. How abstract art is, I don't know if it's always slop, but how at least it's an individualistic form of art. Well, we'll keep that for later. All right. I think we've said everything that we need to say. Why don't we start with an artwork? I don't have a system, however. Fuck systems. I'm an anarchist. I don't have a system to look at art, or like to like filter like the artworks, which maybe I should have done. I'm gonna start on Discord. There's a lot. I got a lot on Instagram, some on Discord. Maybe I should have asked this, like, to have it sent on a Google Drive, but it's way too late for that. Okay, this person sent their Facebook link. I'm not gonna go on Facebook. Open image link. Oh yeah, that works. And if I keep doing that, sorry about this. Next stream, like we're still smoothing shit out, okay? Okay. Okay, we got a couple of artworks here by the first artist on the Discord, whose name is Cody Mayer. So Cody Mayer is from Cincinnati, Ohio. Been doing art from a young age. I went to art school for a year, and I've been primarily painting for almost 10 years. My work is mostly experimental, whose themes and subjects change quite often. I feel like my work has something for everyone. I also make board games and card game stuff too. Check me out either on Facebook. They have a YouTube. My painting vids aren't that great, but my shorts are decent. We can check out their short. Let's look out the short. Let's look at a short. Let's watch the one with the most views. Okay, maybe watch another one. Here's another one. Okay, we did enough. Let's go. Let's look through the art. Okay, let's look through the art first. I've got something to say already, but let's look through the art, or through the artworks. Can we do that? No, we can't. Can we do this? Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, that's number 1. No, that's number 1. We got a lobster claw with 3 people of a different colors with a textured background. We've got some monster in the wind. We've got a demon groping a blue lady. A skull guy, a skeleton with a bottle of alcohol and some fire in a forest. Some demons having fun. A spider eating a lady, again suggestive, naked lady. A demon stretched out. A dragon, un dragon. 2 people making out. The Voldemort, Philosopher's Stone, Voldemort, second head in the back for both of them. One of them is crying. One of them is a demon. And cube-shaped pool balls. Okay. First things first. I asked like what in the call for artists, I asked to talk about themselves, which Cody did, perfect. But when I ask what is your art about, and their answer was, my work is mostly experimental, whose themes and subjects change quite often. I feel like my work has something for everyone, and that's it. I'm looking for something a bit more substantive. I'm looking for something like, why do you make art? Why? What do these mean? Because some of these look cool in the sense that, like, you know, they would do good on DeviantArt, maybe, right? Is that a thing? It makes me feel like okay, so what Zgilwaj said, I just saw a Polish artist, and you know those Polish artists that are really popular on YouTube? This is what it makes me think of. But it just feels edgy for the sake of being edgy. I'm not attracted to that kind of art. Because what does that mean? What does this mean? Like, it looks cool. Like demons having fun with like a lot of money. But how do you place yourself within? What does this mean? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to tell me? When I see this, what am I supposed to feel? Am I supposed to feel bad for the girl? I don't think I am. That's a problem. Am I supposed to feel disgust? Am I supposed to feel? I'm not sure. And what I'm thinking is, I don't think the artist knows either. It just feels like this person's trying to make cool art. And in some way it is cool. Like, this is very visually striking. This has, you know, some visuals. I imagine this like being in a movie, you know, animated or whatever, and people would go like, holy shit, this goes hard. Am I supposed to fear? Am I supposed to? I don't know. I don't like this fantasy thing either. That's just me. Some people like fantasy stuff. This I find a bit corny because of the Voldemort stuff. This is creative. I don't know. It's probably been done before, but this I find funny. This I find like, okay, this is like surrealistic, whatever. Kind of cool. And I think surprisingly, this might be my favorite one. And it's not like something that makes me feel anything. I just feel like, oh, okay. I guess this is a little creative. Because the rest, I mean, is creative. But I feel like it's done to look cool above anything else. And as I said, I don't like aesthetics. And because I don't like aesthetics, I don't like things that are made to look cool either. This makes me think of that one movie with the blue people with red eyes. As far as like creepypasta art, I think this is pretty good. But it's not my type of art. I'm not looking for creepypasta. I don't feel challenged. I don't feel engaged in these works. And I think one of the big reasons for that is if I ask to talk about your art and your answer is I'm just experimental, different themes, different subjects, they change. There's something for everyone. To me, it shows that there might not be maybe because you sent so many, right? But I'd like for us to sit down in front of this artwork, in front of like this one, and you tell me what went through your head at that time, right? Were you just horny? That's fine if you were just horny, but I might not care that much. And because you haven't communicated like what's behind these artworks, and it's not that clear, to me it just falls flat. For me. Hey, the chat's not working, right? Ah, the chat isn't working on screen. Well, for this first iteration of art review, there won't be any chat. Not chat's going to be on, and when chat's on, you're going to know what chat thinks of the artworks. But for now, it's my show. Okay. Nero has a good review. Nero says there's a chasm that exists between I like saying this and this deserves to be heard, and most artists never bridge that gap. I think that's an example of it. Well, there is a chat. The chat is just not on screen. Usually it is on screen. And Nero is completely right. Like, do you like saying this? Do you like painting this? For sure. I believe you do. I mean, who doesn't like creating like some little creepy stuff, right? So being a little edgy. Who doesn't like being a little edgy? But does this deserve to be heard? I mean, maybe you're a bit harsh, but do we want to hear it, right? Deserve to be heard, whatever, you know, like. But do we want to hear it? You know, if I was in an art fair and I saw this, I would go fast. I would go in front of it. I would skip past really quick. But thank you so much for sending it. Deserve is a heavy turn. Hello, Temer. Thank you very much for the for the compliment. All right, we got the second person we got here. On first look, you know, you can tell from the first look, I might like this more. We'll see. We'll see. And you might disagree. You might disagree. There's a lot more artworks here. A lot more. I think. And they have video installations. I have a thing with video installations where I'm not the greatest to appreciate them. And oh, it's 12 minutes. We're gonna have to go through them. We're gonna have to like. Okay, that one's 2 minutes and a half. Okay, we're gonna watch the 2 minutes and a half one. And they sent their Instagram. So I'll open their Instagram. And then we can. Oh. Wait, can you see? No, you can't see my screen while I put my password in. Oh, it's incorrect. Was that incorrect too? All right, we might not see the Instagram. All right, no, we're not going to see the Instagram. Okay, well, their Instagram is HC the second. If you want to check out the Instagram, it's on Discord. Okay. So, for the second artist that we're going to look at today, their name is, well, HC the second on Instagram, and yeah, their name is HC. So I'm going to read the message. It's a bit long. So we'll see if this is good. And you know what? Might as well pull up an image while I read this. And maybe next time I'll put it on screen. We've got a first-time chatter. These to me feel like they refer to other intentional or meaningful art, but don't do much for themselves to look cool. Yeah. The other artworks looked cool, but I felt like it lacked intention and meaning. He's going all Montreal chick on us. Okay. Password orchest 1 2 3. Yeah. That's my password. Okay. So artist. So the artist here says, "Hello, my name is HC. I'm 22 years old and I'm from and live in Denmark. I have been taking art serious since 2021, but I've always loved doing it. I recently graduated at Visuel HF, a special artist education, the only one of its kind in Denmark. I think the American version would be a college of some kind. It's not one of the academies, so it's not hard to get in. I struggle with OCD and have also been diagnosed with both autism and recently ADHD. My first piece is called Lily. It's a 60 centimeter long, 16 centimeter tall ceramic sculpture of a fetus-like creature with an exact replica of my face of it. Oh, look at that. So that's HC's face right here. Face on it. Last year, I began to make different artworks with fetuses. I find them intriguing, strange, and slightly beautiful. To me, they exist in this strange place between being and not being. I'm pro-choice, don't worry. I was going to ask. I was going to wonder. She was exhibited on a hand-sewn satin pillow, which I made to look organic and tentacle-like. Most of my friends think it is my best work yet, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm very proud of her, and I feel strangely maternal towards her. I'll make the other descriptions short, I promise. I just love my little Lily. I love your Lily so far. My most recent work, Plains Volume 10. This is Lily. We love Lily. This is Plains Volume 10, I guess. Red plains have been a recurring motif for about 2 years now. I don't know why I keep returning to that image, but I do. In Volume 10, I wanted to have something that felt big and like a lot, while also seeming strangely calm. Continuing with Plains, Untitled Act 1, Babies and a Thunderclown, Plains Volume 9. I guess that's it. Favorite works by myself are mixed media paintings. I generally see my works as being collages, both visually and thematically, and this one is my best so far. I love to contrast cheap plastic toys with rough, neo-expressionist figures and landscapes. Is there... Okay, so it's probably this one. Dagger. Okay, so there's a description for each, which I love, by the way. You know I love. Dagger, a found object collage object. A found object collage object. I thought of it as a tool from future cavemen. Again, the contrast between the mass-produced and rough, almost primal. Future caveman. Okay, that's interesting. Now we have vampire. Sometimes I like just to do some rough paintings, quick, energetic, and funny. I find most of my work to be funny or just humorous without being silly. After that, we have another example with the untitled work. Maybe just call it The Servant. Sausage Mafioso and the Holy Pussy Juice. So this is Sausage Manifesto and the Holy Pussy Juice, as you can see right here. Oh, you can't see my cursor, but on the top left. Is a fun over-the-top thing that I had a lot of fun with. Again, with the textures going from this Posca illustration thingy to a rough collage. Untitled Fine Line Drawing. Boop. I like to draw these extremely detailed, mostly unplanned, rapid flow drawings. I can usually turn my brain off. I often work on them before bed. Hydra with Child, the fetus strikes again. This is probably the best example of the rough, gentle texture thing I have been talking about. The siren, I personally think this is slop. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so do I. We agree. It was fun to paint, but it means nothing. People really love it when I do these kinds of things for some reason. Yeah, they look cool, but my other work is much better. I agree. I only do these paintings to sell them. Thank you for your honesty. I'm posting here just because, well, maybe someone will buy it. Who knows? Okay, then there's this one. I'm gonna mute it and play. Europa 2, my final project for Visual HF, a stop-motion live-action short film about reincarnations. I did not have a good time making it at all, but in the end, it turned out pretty neat, especially the stop-motion bits. The werewolf head uses my own hair. Oh, you also use your hair to make artworks. Amazing. You know what? I didn't want to go through 12 minutes. Does chat want to go through the 12 minutes of this? Because I kind of do. What does chat think? I'll let chat decide. Well, I'll put my headphones on because I'm probably going to watch it anyway. Sneaky Revenant, but 12 minutes. Someone said, let's do it. Someone wrote, yeah, all 12. That's number one fan club that said, yeah, all 12. And you know, I'm going to listen to number one fan club. Someone said speed it up, maybe. But yeah, okay. Okay, Naro said 2 times speed. I said we watch it. I said we start watching it. I said we start watching it at 1 time speed. And we start like that. And once we get bored, because it's an art video, right? It's not necessarily supposed to entertain us. If we get bored, we'll go up to 1.5. But I want to give it the chance of being watched for its with its pacing, right? All right. So we're gonna unmute it. Oh, did I finish reading? Yeah, I did, right? They said they had a hard time. Oh yeah, their own hair on the. Yeah, we love that. All right, let's start. Let's watch. So this is HC's final project video installation. We'll see. Every minute increases by 1,000 speed. Oh yeah. Let's make a TikTok out of this. PF Porlock. Hello, PF Porlock. This 12-minute must be a full movie for the TikTok generation. Oh yeah, if you need to go pee, if you need to go get some popcorn, we're gonna watch this. Okay, we're starting. Is there sound? Oh, there is sound. I just couldn't hear it. Jesus. Oof. Spotty, I'm joking. Okay, you can. Hello, everyone, say hello to Spotty. I feel bad for saying shh to Spotty. No! 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 Hardly a fair fight. Okay. Okay, we didn't witness the outcome of that fight. Okay.
So,
Okay.
crazy weather, right?
Crazy weather. Crazy weather. So, what did we all think? Ah, geez, I wish chat could be on screen so that it was so that it was visible. Iron Man says, "Well, I don't know about my fellow scholars in the peanut gallery, but I love this a lot. I think the overly polished era of art on social media has watered down most of the things that get made. So it's nice to see something be intentionally rough and even unpleasant." Yeah, yeah, I love that. Shall we analyze? I mean, um, 10 out of 10 man turned into a duck. This Guild Wars said I didn't get it at all. I didn't get much of it, very honestly. I think that's the kind of nature of like more experimental, especially videography. I have a harder time with videography in general, especially art videos. It's always been something I've struggled with for years now. In a gallery, when I see a video art, I roll my eyes. But this one kind of worked on me a little bit. Did it challenge me? Did it make me think? I don't think so. I just thought, hey, this is cool. Some of it made me laugh. And I honestly, I enjoyed it because it felt intentional, maybe not in a way that I understood fully. Uh, but it did get some reactions out of me. Maybe edgy enough to get some reactions out of me. Like honestly, I did not expect the dancing and the screaming. And it's something I loved. When this becomes a YouTube video, I'll put the full link to the performance or to the video in the description, so that way we don't have to play the whole thing on video. It's also the kind of thing maybe we can like we'd have to rewatch, maybe not on stream, but like we'd have to rewatch to like maybe understand it a bit more. Nero says, I liked it. There were points that felt like padding to hit a time expectation, but overall was clearly made with love. Would watch again. The artist did say it was made for their last college thing and their college like assignment, and that they had a hard time doing it. I don't know if it meant they didn't like doing it or if it was just difficult. I did not have a good time making it at all, but it turned out neat. So I don't know if it means that they didn't have they just had to struggle to make it, or if they didn't like it and they just made it because it was like a final assignment. The werewolf at dinner resonates with me in particular. I'm glad it does. It's made out of hair, so that resonated with me a lot. Iron Man says, I think galleries are kind of a terrible setting for video art. Yeah, I find it impossible to focus on something looping on a shitty projector while people cycle in and out of the room. Yeah, and also the whole idea that you come in and you might come in at the middle of the art of the video, so it's so you don't even know, okay, am I like a quarter in? Are we at the end of the video? You have no idea. You just arrive like at a time, at an imprecise and like unknown time in the video, and you don't know how long it is unless it's written on the little, which it often is. But since you don't know when in the video you are, you don't know how long you must wait, how long, you know, it's just a kind of a shit show that I don't like. Also, I don't like being a prisoner of an artwork. And I feel like when there's video, I'm a prisoner of an artwork, especially in a gallery. I like going in a gallery and being free to look at artwork and to like make a snap judgment. I don't like that. I'm going to move on. With video art, I don't feel justified to go, I don't like that, I'm moving on, because I haven't seen the whole thing. So it's like, how can I judge it if I haven't seen the whole thing? Meanwhile, when I see an artwork, I can judge it, I can make a snap judgment. And I feel with video art, there's no snap judgment. You have to stay there for a long time. And because of that, I feel like kind of a prisoner to video art. I know someone who could tell you all about galleries as an effectual space that needs to be criticized. All right, we can move on to the second video that they sent, where they say, whoops, what did I do? Oh yeah, and then we need to go through the artworks. They say Dog/Man. It's a video work from 2024. It's a collage video with a noise soundtrack. I make all the music in my work myself. This was exhibited on a concrete wall in a room with the sound really packed punch. Definitely the best way to watch it. So they say the best way to watch it is in a gallery. Well, my YouTube stream is sort of a gallery in itself. My Twitch stream is sort of a gallery in itself. Sort of an artwork in itself, one could say. All right, let's watch this.
Dog. Man. Dog. Man. Dog. Man. Dog. Man. Dog. Dog. Man. Dog. Dog. Man. Hippo. Man. Octopus. Dog.
Oh, we have the artist in chat. Oh, that's now we have to be really nice about the artworks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I really like this. Okay. For the second artwork, HC wrote in the Discord that I think it's better that it's like that's presented in like in the gallery space or whatever, where it was like projected on concrete. I really like the fact that we started from the beginning and we didn't arrive like in the middle, because there's like it starts off with Dog Man in a very and like there's a it starts to get confusing and degenerates a little bit. And I like the fact that we get to witness the increasing confusion, and we don't arrive like in the middle of it where it's already super confused. HC, wait, I showed this at the beginning of the stream, but since you arrived, let me show you my artwork that resonated. Your artwork, especially with the werewolf with the hair, resonated with me because I made an artwork with my own hair, a self-portrait, and I'd like to show it to you. I cut my hair not long ago, and I made this self-portrait. And because your werewolf was made with your own hair, and this self-portrait is made with my hair, I feel like we have some things in common. Yeah, yes, Sneaky, that's where my hair went. It went uh, on a flat surface. Okay, that's cool. HC. It was like in a guided tour where people were forced to see a lot of videos. I like how it's forced. Oh, you were there for the reaction on Utopia or Europa? Europa. Oh, that's crazy that you were there. The artist was listening and lurking. Did you call it a Heraclava? Sneaky, that's good. I like it. Nero says that's good. It would have. Okay, you want to know something really funny about scaring off an intruder? My building caught fire a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago, or like one of the apartments. The apartment, not my neighbor, but like in front of my neighbor. So like diagonally me on my floor caught fire. So we all like had to go outside. It was all smoky and all. So the firemen went through all the apartment doors and opened them to let and open the window. My window was closed, and that artwork was right next to the window. So the firemen came into my apartment to open the window, and for sure saw that artwork. And you know what? I really like the idea that the firemen had to be faced with the Heraclava in his whole like suit with the mask and things like that. It didn't stop him from doing his job though. We love firemen. You know, it's really when you get saved. It's really when you see firemen at work that you see why you don't like cops. I have a shit ton of hair, Iron Man. I really do. Sean Hair Grenier. Sean, when they like an artist. Did you know I'm just like you? Whoa, what makes you think I like this artist? We didn't even go through the artworks. We only went through two not the residency narrow. The residency is dead and gone. It's over. Our anarchists for legal reasons have never been to Canada. Really glad to hear. Okay. All right, let's go through the artworks now. Through the let's start. Go in order of how they were sent. So first we have this guy, the fetus. Oh, hey, you want to see something really fun? Okay, first of all, I like the fetus artwork. I'm not sure what it means. I think it's an interesting visual for sure. The fetus in general, and our understanding of ourself. Blah blah blah. I have my first. You want to see the first picture of myself? The first picture of me ever. I have it right here. That's the very first picture of me. It's me as a fetus. It's an echography. Echography? Echography? I don't know how it works. I mean, I guess there's no orientation, right? I look like a Sour Patch Kid. Anyway. So I was, me too, a fetus once. You see the resemblance? Thank you. So, okay. So we have this one and that one. Honestly, I like it. I understand why your friends like it. I think it's a very striking image. I like the crack. It was probably not, it's probably like a not wanted, right? But I kind of like it. It makes me think, to go back to the Harry Potter, comparisons that we did earlier. It makes me think of that one Voldemort, where he looks like a fetus. That one Voldemort scene. I don't know if I want to open these. That one's gonna have to do it. It's gonna have to do. Okay. But honestly, I don't know if I have much to say about it aside from like, oh, it looks cool and I see like the appeal. I like it. I like that it's ceramic, that it's particularly fragile. I like that how glossy it is. Yeah, it's the Nazi wizard movies. For this one, I think this is one of the ones I like the less. Just because it doesn't speak to me that much. I much prefer, in terms of like the Red Plains series, this one. I like the mixed media, with the toys, the little babies falling. I much prefer this to that. This doesn't speak to me that much. Like, I get like the quietness, the stillness with like the bunch of like planes in the sky. But it just doesn't hit to me as much as this one does. I don't know. I like this. I like the frame as well, and this is something that you see in another artwork. The frame that's like painted over, kind of super messy. I imagine this was probably done on. There's probably a painting behind this that was already framed, maybe from like a thrift store that you've painted over. But I think the flatness is part of it. I think it's designed to be flat. This one I like, the future caveman hints at like a future human extinction. without necessarily being too on the nose about it, or maybe it is on the nose. But like, oh, humans are gonna go extinct, and they're gonna go with they're gonna make knives out of like trash that they find. It's a fun one. That one is probably like the one I like the less. Yeah, I just don't. It doesn't speak to me. This one has like Tarsila do Amaral. Is that how you... Do? Am I stupid for seeing it like that? Like for seeing some resemblances? Do y'all see the resemblance? Well, I guess there's only this one that kind of makes me think of it. Maybe not. Maybe it's like the You see it? Okay, Naro sees it. Okay. HC also sees it. And Tarsila do Amaral had this was part of a group called the Anthropophagists. Movimento Antropofagico, I think. Which in English is the anthropophagic movement, or like the cannibalist movement. Anthropophagic means eating humans. Why do they call it? Swallowing external cultures. Yeah. Practices cannibalism is also called a cannibal. If you click on anthropophagic, it brings you to human cannibalism. Anyway. And it's funny because, well, looks like cannibalism. That one also doesn't appeal to me that much. This one I like a bit more. It feels it feels. Let's read this. Permanently disfigured after his DNA was altered by a vat of radioactive sausages. Is it again? The feared mafioso Dennis Hugo is cursed to forever look for his lost soul in all the world's hot dog packages. There's like I like the absurdity of it, the humor. Is it art that like really gets me and like challenges me? But I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't think the aim is to present as like very art that like challenges you and all that. I think it's just like a bit irreverent, it's funny, cheeky, and I like it for that. That is DuckTales. Gilwaj likes this one. Now, this one you can't even children anymore. You can't even diddle children anymore because of woke. I like this. This is really cool. But like you said, it's like a doodle that you like to do like at night. I like the doodle. And like technically, and it looks cool and it looks nice. Like I like how it looks, right? But again, does it speak to me? Not really, but I don't think it's necessarily supposed to. I think it looks cool. It's fun. It's funny. It's, Donald Duck, is that it? Or Duck guy here. Yeah, it does what it's supposed to, I think. This one, I don't like this style personally, but I associate it to like I don't know what I associate it to, but I don't associate it to like something that I personally like. I like the fetus though. I like the umbilical cord. It makes me think of that. It makes me want to go take some boxing gloves and go. for those who haven't seen the video, it's a reference to that video. I don't actually want to do that, to the art video. Again, I like the painting over the frame, the refusal of like the boundaries. I like your kind of your lack of discipline in that way, which shows lack of discipline, or like your irreverence, your I don't know. Yeah, I guess you understand what I mean. If you understand, if you don't understand, well, I don't know. The framing being painted over, again, I like it. I would have preferred someone with boxing gloves on the left here. And this one you called it slop. I don't know if you were there. I kind of agree. I think that's the kind of thing that that maybe some people will find like really cool and like something they want to buy, like you said. But maybe because it's visually appealing, maybe because the colors are beautiful, or whatever it is. But to me, it doesn't appeal to me. I think my favorite one is what would be my favorite one? It would have to. I like this. I like the mixed media with the toys. I like this. I also like, obviously, the Voldemort fetus. Yeah. And I liked the videos. I like both videos, honestly. Both videos were really great. Thank you so much for sending your art in. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, one thing about the first video, I was laughing when you started yelling. I don't know if I was supposed to laugh. You know, it's the kind of thing where I think it's about overwhelmed and like, you know, like yelling because like you might feel stuck, you might feel angry, you might feel you know, desperate or whatever. I think it's a normal reaction to start yelling when someone to start laughing when someone yells like that in a video. I'm dancing, and I think it's an interesting reaction. I was laughing. I understand that it might not come from an intention to make people laugh. Yeah, Iron Man says, Sean, does everything remind you of Voldemort? Like for the first two artists, I guess they have. That's just coincidence. I promise. Nero says the lettering is really nice on the on here. Oh, okay. They sent their Instagram. I don't have my Instagram password, but I'll look it up on my phone. Just feel free to put your Instagram in the chat, HC, so that people can go check it out. So people can go check it out. All right. Now, let's do one last one. One last artist. You're missing out on the Nazi Wizard stories, Lenore. Such great stories. Such beautifully written. Okay, let's open all the links to the next artist. Next time I'll be more organized. I just needed to oh. Perfect. Okay, I just needed to see what I needed to do by actually doing it on stream. Next artist is called Martin. So let's read what Martin has to say. Martin says, "Hello, Sean. My name is Martin. I'm a big fan and have watched your videos for years. I'd like to show you some artwork. I've been drawing my whole life, never been formally educated in the arts, but have found plenty of great lessons for free on the internet. I'm currently working a full-time job in construction, but my ultimate goal is to make independent comic books. Hopefully I can make that happen soon. Recently, I've been doing a lot of digital art, specifically science fiction, horror/creature design, but I've done plenty of watercolors and have also been learning to paint with oils. Thanks for your considerations. You can find more on Instagram." Then they link the Instagram. The Instagram link does not work. I just glanced over the artworks. Just from that, I think the art style that we're both looking for is very, very different. Or, the whole comic book thing, the art style of comic books, a lot of its meaning is really tied to the story that it's depicting. So it's not necessarily something that, aside from looking cool, may not be a great standalone artworks, in the sense that like you put them in galleries, or like it might not resonate as much if they're not tied to the story that they're depicting, right? If that makes sense. I still gonna look at them, but understanding that I'm more like into conceptual artworks and like artworks that like stand alone and that tell a story on their own rather than illustrate stories. But maybe I'll be surprised. But before I can tell, you're very talented. Okay. So this is the first artwork they sent. Here. Well, first off, maybe you're indigenous. Well, yeah. I'll just assume you're indigenous. I don't know where you're from. Did you say where you're from? Sometimes like the stereotypical depiction of indigenous characters and people, both in, well, Europe and around the world, it can be a bit rough. Nero says the lightning sticks out of the background in a bad way. I don't think I can do like a technical or formal critique. Nero says that this, and like now I see it, I kind of agree. Should have been done in the same brush style as the rest. Yeah, the eagle feathers are definitely First Nations coded. Yeah, for sure. On both on the horse and on the person. I don't know. I have a hard time. Like, I feel like when there's a lightning, there should be like more like of an outline of like light. You know, it would be a little less flat. But at the same time, I don't want to do because I'm not an artist. Like, I don't paint. I don't draw. I don't. So this is not from a point of view of here's how to draw better or here's how to make art better. It's just from an art appreciation rather than an art technician point of view. This one right here. Hey, that's Goya in the back. Again, I don't know what this illustrates necessarily. So it's hard again to give my opinion about it. What does it mean? What does it say? That's the kind of thing that if you do send your art on Instagram or on Discord, tell me what it means and what it says if it's not like obvious, like the last artist did. Because here it's hard to comment on this. Right? Same thing for here. I like the style here, like the blotchiness of it. But I don't know what to say about it. A lot of references to art history, which is really cool. I love that. You know, I love that. The Guernica, which is about war, and perhaps this is someone who doesn't, you know, who's struggled with war. Little angels on someone with a sword, with fire in the background. A sword swallower. This one I like. This one I like. It makes me think of like Francis Bacon, which is ironic because it's bacon, like literally bacon. Those of you who don't know, Francis Bacon. If I write Porcus, is it gonna work? Yeah. All my homies love Francis Bacon. I know my camera's around top of it. There you go. Yeah, these are really cool. So I feel like it might be a start for like a first thing out of this, especially the two of them. I don't know if you were inspired by Francis Bacon. But out of all of these, maybe this is one that speaks to me the most. This one again, I feel like it's depicting a story, and it's much like it's more an like that's okay. Very sexy lady on some kind of like machine. I feel like these are like more like illustrations. I've done this before. I've done this distinction before. It's not one where like one is better than the other, but I feel like this is more like an illustration. People in chat might hate this. You know, the way I conceive of art, and you can disagree with me, but the way I conceive of art is something that's like a standalone thing. And I feel like this is more like an illustration where it more like it's more tied to a narrative, maybe not tied to like a purpose that goes beyond what it's trying to say in a way. And the purpose of these is to illustrate the narrative. So they kind of become instrumental. These images are instrumental to a broader narrative, or to a broader, it makes me think a bit of like OC art. And all my homies know I hate OC art. Not that I hate it, but again, it feels like it's instrumental in explaining or in illustrating elements that are outside of itself, which is not a bad thing. And I guess all art does that in a way, but some do it in a more explicit way and some do it more in an implicit way. And this is like very explicitly illustrating something that I have no idea about. And even if I did, right, I have a hard time like, really appreciating like there's something that, like, for example, like any cartoon art, or not cartoon, but like work art that are more like comic book art. Like there's people with great skills, people that are very talented, but if you just put like a Spider-Man comic post thing on my wall, I will have a hard time engaging with it as an artwork and not as a Spider-Man work. And I could engage with it as an artwork, but I have a very hard time doing it because of the blockage of knowing that it's an artwork that, or like that it depicts something that, anyway. Does that make sense? Y'all sound very elitist. Oh, the audio is not synced. Oh, we should work on that. Meta says y'all sound very elitist. I mean, a lot of people will say it's elitist to think that way. I just don't think that there's a hierarchy between it. Like, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I think in order for it to be elitist, I would have to say that's low art. I'm not saying it's low art. I'm just saying that my definition of art is different from whatever this is. And it's not because it's not as good. I won't say it's worse. I just think it has different objectives. And some people will prefer, we'll look at an artwork. We'll look at whatever we just watched and we'll say, what the fuck is this? Some guy dancing and like yelling in the back? That's not art. My art with the, how do you call it? My comic book art is real art. And what the fuck is this guy dancing and yelling on top of it? That's not art. I feel like that's kind of elitist in the sense that like putting on a hierarchy what is art and what isn't. When I say what is art and what isn't in terms of a hierarchy. It's not like, oh, this is below, this is less interesting. It's more, this has different aims, and the aims I'm looking for, and I believe the art world in general is looking for, is different from comic book art. Because even when Roy Lichtenstein, who has the same name as a fucking country, did comic book art, the idea here wasn't that the comic book art in itself is interesting or beautiful. It kind of was, but it was more like a reflection on hey, these are images that we see all the time, and that blah, blah, blah. It's the same pop art shit as like Andy Warhol. It's not necessarily something I like the Campbell soup cans. Like, oh, these are images that we see every day, but we don't appreciate them for like their visual aesthetics. And Roy Lichtenstein did the same. But the reason why Roy Lichtenstein is in museums, yes, it's because they're worth a lot, and yes, it's because they're recognizable and they have clout. But also because there's all this thinking behind it, which and this thinking and the thought process of explaining and of debating on the worth of these images as artistic products. And he's the one who introduced, or who talked about, maybe there was some people before, I'm sure there were people before who did that, but he's the one who actually like who made it popular, or through maybe connections. I don't know enough about Roy Lichtenstein. But in any case, there were discussions, debates, challenges about the notion of art through Lichtenstein's work, which you don't necessarily get from a comic strip. And it's not to say that Lichtenstein is better for that. It's just that they serve different purposes. And that's my way to like, to defend myself from being elitist. Oh, look, Iron Man says, I make OC art, and I agree that it's not art. It's more akin to a game to me than anything I'd call or make as art. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. But again, it doesn't mean that OC art has no value, or that people shouldn't do it. It's just it serves a different a different objective. Same thing. The person who said HC earlier, who made like doodling in black and white, and said, I'll do this before going to bed. I really like it. Is it as good as his or their other things? To me, no. But yeah, they just have a different reason. Oh, Iron Man says your video on art versus illustration for a few years ago is forever my touchstone for that topic. Really, that's really touching. Thank you. That was my video on AI art, I think. and just to reiterate my video on AI art, I was like, there's art and illustration. AI can take can do illustration. AI can 100% do illustration because it basically just fills a need. It fills a function, right? Art has to come from like the soul or whatever. That's a TLDR. Go watch that video. Oh, look at Debased Gnome Child saying the foundation of taste is rejection. I love that. Did you get that from somewhere, Debased Gnome Child? I love that so much. Sneaky Revenant, so just one panel is not a standalone art piece. It could be a standalone art piece, right? Of like, but you have to do some work, some thoughtfulness behind. You have to put some thoughtfulness behind. The same way like Liechtenstein did, right, with one panel and turned it into artwork. Yeah, PF Warlock says comic book illustrations often exhibits amazing technique, which they do, and it can be really impressive. I love technique. No, I don't. I actually don't. It can be yeah, but it's not what I look for when I look at an artwork. And I think that technique is something that the art world in general has abandoned for a very long time because they've realized that being a good technician doesn't mean you're a good artist. It's just one tool. Like the technique is just one tool to make good art. The fact that so many people believe it's the only tool or think that the tool in itself is art, yeah, is sometimes a bit frustrating. Yeah, comic book art is visual narration of a story. This is not a positive or negative. It isn't. Yeah, exactly. Mike Magnolia, is Mike Magnolia like the really bad Magnola? The really bad one? Or the good one? The one like the Superman with the big chest. That's not Mike Magnola, is it? Rob Liefeld. Ah, there you go. We love Rob Liefeld, don't we? The Superman chess guy. Open, no. This guy. Anyway. There's a lot of chat happening. I can't follow it all. He's the Hellboy guy. Okay. Okay, there's a huge conversation going on in chat. If you're just looking at the stream, you don't see chat, but that's what's going on right now. Oh, I opened the whole AI art debate can of worms. My hot take is that AI can be used as a tool for art. If the conceptualization is human and the technique is AI, I think it's still art. That's my hot take. Yeah, these ideas are very accessible and interesting. Thus, chat is active. I'm glad chat is active. And Little Autism says, I think that everything that can be said about said with AI art has already been said in 2023. That's another thing I agree with. Okay, let's do one last one. Let's do one last one. One last one. Do. Oh, there's someone from Canada. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we in trouble? Okay. I like that people send a lot of artworks. Very cool. Okay. Okay, one last one. This is going to be probably the last one. Hopefully. Hopefully. Okay. Next time, I'm putting my computer there, so that way I can look at the camera instead of looking away at the camera every time I look at chat. So the person here, okay, I'll put the artwork on screen while I read. It's the Canadian Parliament, which for an anarchist community, buddy, you're not giving a good first impression. Anyway, we can still watch. We can still give this person a chance. They say, "Hi Sean, entering my hat into the art review ring. I work in different styles, and I'm looking for honest feedback. Who am I? My name is Alexandre Allard Dufour, French Canadian. I'm from Almonte, small town west of Ottawa. I've been to Ottawa not that long ago. 3 weeks ago, I was in Ottawa. Exactly 3 weeks ago. And I've been painting for about 5 to 6 years. I have never studied art and I'm self-taught. I started with watercolor, and in the past few years, I have tried different mediums and styles. I like to learn/study by watching videos such as yours and Hometown Journal, timestamp, Louisiana channel. I like these. I like Hometown Journal and Louisiana channel. I don't know timestamp though. But very good channels to watch. Very, very good channels to watch. Description of the works. The two main styles I've painted and are watercolor building portraits and what might be called contemporary pop art. Let me know if this makes sense. The building portrait stemmed from an admiration for the small local businesses in my area as well as in Ottawa and the important role they play in building strong communities. I also appreciate old buildings and historical architecture. The contemporary pop art I make comes from more of an exploratory side. In the work, I can ask questions, explore different imagery and mediums, and just play a little more. And then they put their Instagram. Their Instagram is art_by_Alexandre, and Alexandre is ALEXANDRE. So we can watch this. Let's look at the artworks. There's 10 of them. So first of all, there's the Canadian Parliament. Great technique. Again, great technique. I like the colors as well. The shadows, great. But the subject matter, however, I mean, it's a great building. It's a great building. A bit phallic. Perfect for a representation of power, of patriarchal power. But it's not necessarily the thing that I would be. I want some fireworks. I was in Ottawa for Canada Day. There was no fireworks because it was raining. Nero says this artist has an excellent design brain and good color selection. Artists in chat, pay attention. Yeah, in terms of technical side, great. I honestly, okay. Let's keep going. This is probably the pop art thing. Okay, what do we think of this? What does chat think of this? Is this the one about regulation? Because of like the snake and the don't tread on me? It's Mexican. It's the eagle with the snake. It's a factory symbol. I don't know. No, I don't think the donut lamp and the plant is part of it. Sandpunk thumbs. Is it meant to be a set in a waiting room? Yeah. I think the fact that it's presented like this also feels like it could, like it's meant to be decorative, which makes me very uncertain about it. I don't know, because it's not like a oh, I like this. To me, I don't think it's something I can say I love, especially considering it's just neo pop art. It doesn't speak to me. Maybe it could speak to other people. It doesn't speak to me. The symbols here, the icons, aside from the dollar sign, are not ones that speak to me either. It's not like I go like I can relate to them. The factory, the bird with the snake, it looks cool. I see the pop art, but I don't know if I like the pop art. So I don't know. It's very much an Instagram piece. Yeah, as I was like, yeah, it looks. It could sell. Like a print of it would sell. Eliur means them and them, but the feminine them and the masculine them. We have the gendered thems. Yeah. And I think it's the same thing here. It doesn't speak to me. I don't get the imagery. I like the I like the colors. I like the technique. I don't know if it's a print. The font, beautiful. But it doesn't speak to me. Union made. Ouch. The Warhol flower, the head that fell off, the horse, the arrows. It was sold. Congrats. Congrats on selling it. It says sold on the bottom right. But again, feels like feels a bit commercial to me. I'm biased with the pop art thing because if you go into the old Montreal quarters in Montreal, there's stuff that sells art, like art galleries, very commercial art galleries, and like the pop art stuff is very popular there. And I think it's because it sells. I think it's because hello Aldzerge. Bonjour mes amis. Oh, Aldzerge. Is this Mexican? With the eagle and the... Is it racist to ask a Mexican, is this Mexican? How are y'all doing? We're doing very good, thank you. It's an eagle with a snake. I was wondering, is this Mexican? Anyway. We're back at with the... Yeah, it looks like your coat of arms, right? Definitely racist. Okay, sorry. Here we have again the architecture. There's something I like about architecture that is taken out of its context. I love the technique. I love the colors. I really love how it's made. But to me, I've seen this before done in a more like edgy way. And in an edgy way, I mean, they took, and you know, a lot of your appreciation of artworks is also going to be informed by other artworks that you've seen that you're going to compare it to. Perhaps I would have loved this if I hadn't seen some more edgy artworks that were the same concept of taking a building and taking it out of its context, which can be great, but the building that they took wasn't necessarily beautiful. It wasn't nice. It was like, if I remember correctly, it was like an apartment building, like an old, decrepit apartment building made out of like cement. I don't remember in what country. In one of those warm countries where it's not like things are not made out of wood. And it was beautiful. It wasn't a nice building, and like they showed the picture of it, and I think it was on YouTube. They showed the picture of it, and then the picture looked like a normal ass Google Street picture. And the artwork that came out of it was really nice, almost abstracted, because they took out the buildings that were in the front and the things that would like obstruct the view. I don't remember if it was Google Street, but it could have been a Google Street View picture. But anyway, because of that, this just feels like a beautiful rendition of a beautiful house. It's again, it's beautiful. And I also think this would also sell very well. Fun fact, Hitler loved painting architecture. Yeah, keep that in mind, Alexandre. Hitler loved painting architecture. Watercolors. So yeah. No, I don't hate architectural illustrations. No. They can be nice. And it's the kind of thing like if I owned a building, if I owned this house and someone did this, oh Jesus, I would be so happy. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll frame this, I'll put this in my house. But like as someone who doesn't know this house, as someone who doesn't know where it's from, which place it's from either, it's hard to appreciate it. The appreciation, I believe, hinges only on its technical skills, which are impressive, but to me insufficient for appreciation. Oh, that was great phrasing, wasn't it? Great phrasing. Same thing here. Beautiful. The same plant, but we put an artwork there instead of the donut lamp. I think this might be one of my favorite ones. Again, it doesn't speak to me that much. I like the, of course, this is about peace and about violence. But I think it's the pop art thing that kind of annoys me, the commercial side of it. It feels less conceptual and more of a I don't know. I'd like some backing from chat. What do we think of this? This one is my favorite. Okay, you're cooking. Keep going. Thank you. This one's my favorite. I like the reappropriation of an old like ceramic style artwork with the cracks and everything. I wouldn't like, what is this? Did you take it like an old ceramic style? Is this painted? If it is, technically very impressive. If it's not painted, still extremely cool. I like the reappropriation of an old an old visual language, but using eat your vegetables. The reason why I like this is, the virtue, like the little angel espousing some type of virtue. And to think that today, like the virtue that we're gonna remind people of is eat your vegetables, I kind of like it. It would do well in my kitchen. Talavera tiles. Talavera tiles says Skill Waj. Talavera tiles. Yeah, definitely. What are Talavera tiles? Hey, let's learn. Mexican pottery tradition with heritage from the Talavera de la Reina pottery of Spain. White base is typical of the type. If it is, it's very cool, but it's not. It has less like the squares though that we saw. Could just be like it's like square, 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 and here there's maybe less square, square, square. It ain't Talavera, says Naro. Naro says, I would buy this at an art fair, unironically. Yeah, there you go. It's certainly still decorative in my understanding of it, in a way that a lot of artwork that I like aren't. Like a lot of the artwork that I like, I wouldn't even put it on my wall. If I did, they wouldn't look good, right? But this looks both good and is kind of cool. So this is my favorite one. And then finally there's, oh, they have, okay, wait. They have titles. I forgot. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, Parliament. This is produce or perish. This is they and them. Unionized. This was a commission. Well, it says commission. Remember when I said if I owned this house, I would love to have this painting? Well, if it was commissioned by the house owner, that would make sense. I called it. I did, Naro. Called it. Corner Peach. Dory's Habit. Dropped It. That one's Eat Your Vegetables. And this one is Lamenting with sun. The horse here, $4.44. I think it's a style that doesn't necessarily appeal to me, sadly. As someone said in chat, I think it's a safe style. Nero says they like the horse because it's pixelated. People in chat. Okay, one day, next stream, there will be chat on screen, so that way people will comment on the artworks, and then you'll be able to see it. Nero says they like the pixelated horsey. Fire Anarchist says I should look up this artwork. Fire Anarchist, what the fuck is this? Apparently this looks like this. I must disagree. Where's the angel? Where's the angel? Fire Anarchist. Oh, you're putting wisdom on porcelain tiles. Okay. No, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Okay, I get it. They have wisdom on porcelain. Okay. Don't be mad at me. I read the whole message a little late. Sean, you said that it was better than you expected and then proceeded to roast 3 out of 4 people so far. How bad did you expect it to be? I expected it to be worse. Honestly, like, this is not bad. In terms of, like Like there's like some there's at least like you can say like technically like this is really good, right? This is not a bad artist. Like even if I say like this is not necessarily art that speaks to me, and like sometimes I feel like for example this is like I don't know, like I'm not amazed by this, I'm not surprised, I'm not challenged. Someone said in chat it's a bit easy, but like it doesn't revolt me in a way. I don't think like I roasted this person. Did I? I mean, it's not roasting. It's just like saying this is not for me. I recognize, like, especially like wow, this is great, right? This is especially like this. I'd love to find the what Jesus. I'd love to find the architecture, painting, watercolor on YouTube. I think it would be really hard to do though. The one that that one video that I saw once a while ago. I'm not even gonna try. Maybe for next stream if I find it, or maybe I'll up in Discord to show what I like and what I think is really cool. Whatever. Yeah, I don't think I've roasted it because I don't think these are particularly bad so far. I was expecting some bad stuff. I was expecting some furry OC art. I'm happy I said I wasn't into that, or some like abstract art that I would go through and go like, oh, what is it? But like, these aren't bad. This is my favorite one here. This one, eh. Like I think the problem with the pop art thing, it might have more something, bleh, might have something more to do with the visual language of pop art, and the fact that it doesn't speak to me that much anymore, rather than like a problem from the artist, because this is a good artist. Thank you so much for sending it. Thank you so much for sending it. Okay, let's read. That's one of the issues as well I have. Naro says, I'd like to see this in a trendy restaurant with expensive wings, but would never take it home or think about it outside of seeing it. Yeah. It feels a bit decorative in that way as well. Autism says it just looks too much like Terry Urban, which I've seen you mention earlier. Let's see if it's true. Artist and DJ. Okay, no, I like Terry Urban a lot more in this case. But it does look like it, you're right. What if there was a way to look at Google Images, but like in a carousel way? And maybe there is. Is there? Or maybe like this, but like where it's the whole screen. Winnie, please draw every art. It does look a lot like they even have like the 20 cents where the other person had like the 444 with the, yeah, it does look a lot like Terry Urban, as you say. I think it's a good it's an apt but I think I prefer Terry Urban, and that's what happens, right? When you start comparing artists and you prefer one over the other, then the one who you don't prefer does take a hit, an important hit. Alzer says, here's where it becomes obvious I know nothing about art. Isn't all art decorative? Good question. I guess it depends on what you're looking for art, like looking for in art, right? Because like a lot of the artworks that come out today aren't decorative at all. Some of my favorite artworks are not artworks that I want to put on my wall. They're not there to decorate. I don't necessarily like even artworks that look for, like, that pursue aesthetic beauty. And when they are beautiful, I'm not looking at them in terms of, I'll give you a good example. I'm working on a video right now, and I'll tease it for you for the CBC. Here, from this indigenous artist from the West who does landscape paintings, but who does them in a way that introduces tears to symbolize the colonial tears in Canadian landscapes. And the way she mends the tears is through indigenous practices, either weaving, beading, and caribou tufting, which here is not present. And she says very openly that she doesn't want these to be beautiful. She's like, the subject matter isn't a beautiful subject matter. And she's like, she's always confused when people say, oh, these are beautiful, because she's like, they shouldn't be. You have like those tears in the artwork, and those tears are violent, right? They come from residential schools. They come from, you know, murders, abuse, land theft, cultural genocide, just outright genocide, period. And the mending is an attempt at trying to like fix that. But she said she's not trying to use colors that necessarily fit together. She's not using beautiful colors. She's not trying to harmonize it. She's not trying to make it to make it more beautiful than it was before. She's just trying to mend it in the best way possible. And she's like, this is not supposed to be beautiful. I want my artworks to clash, kind of, to confront and to like kind of break a bit this idea of like aesthetics and of decoration. Because indigenous healing shouldn't be like a product to consume and a product to put on your wall and blah blah blah. I really liked it. I really like that her landscapes. Michelle Sound, if you ever want to check out, she has an Instagram. If you want to look out more works of her. Yeah, the taped banana is not decorative as well. I think it's the taped banana is like the classic example. It's not necessarily one I like in terms of like modern art. You should post the Grenier hierarchy of painting genres. I hate hierarchies. It's more like what I prefer. In the same way, all farm tools can all be decorative. Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah. Incorporate burns in the canvas. It's paper, but yeah, that could be cool actually. You should send her a DM on Instagram. I feel bad, but I do find it aesthetically pleasing. Don't feel bad. She said it herself, like other people have found it aesthetically pleasing, and she's always like a bit like she finds it weird because she's not looking for it to be aesthetically pleasing. Maybe there's better artworks to show, like modern artworks. They're not aesthetically pleasing. Trying to find like one that would be like very overtly unesthetically pleasing in terms of like a when I like decorative. Make a tier list. That's a real YouTuber thing to do. I think Anish Kapoor is not necessarily, who's also like a uh, a popular artist, right? Who doesn't do necessarily decoration. Like this isn't decoration at all. I mean, I guess it could be decoration, but it would be a weird taste to decorate your house with this, right? Or the very Jeff Koons is another example. Well, Jeff Koons, you say like does decorative artworks? Duh, yeah, kinda. I mean, because I was gonna say like, oh, this you can't use to decorate a room, but I guess you can. Maybe yeah, I guess Jeff Koons maybe is a bit more like decorative. Yeah, you're right. I was like thinking like, oh, because like a lot of his stuff is like huge. I don't think they can necessarily decorate. Or what about the Christmas tree? Fuck. This is this is not what I was looking for. Uh public. This one. I mean, is this decorative? It's a beautiful Christmas tree. Oh, it's art by Alexandre. Alexandre, the artist who did these. Hello, Alexander. Alexandre. Some of Amy Silman's work. Let's go look Amy Silman. I find not super decorative. I feel like these perhaps are decorative, or like there's also like, oh, edgy decorative. Like someone would put like a Goya, right? Goya, like Saturn devouring the sun, and be like, I'm sure like a lot of people have like a bit like edgy, like, yeah, this is not supposed to be decorative, but like I'm such a tormented soul, I will put this on my wall. I saw this artist do installations, Monument. I don't remember their name though. And a lot of like art, like video art, is also Monument installation artist. Musée art contemporain. No, I don't think I'll find it. Whatever. There was this artist that I really liked that did he was a Colombian artist, I think. Anyway, there's a bunch of examples of art that can be non-decorative. Yeah, no, it does make you think of The Shining, the Anish Kapoor one. All my homies hate Koons. Yeah, they do. What do you mean, Pyronicus? That's just a butt plug. It's a Christmas tree. Certainly can just decorate something. All right. Looked into like 4 artists, which I think is enough. I got dozens of art, so we're gonna have to do another stream to go through the other artworks. I would like to edit these, make them both to videos. Perhaps make a video on the canvas with this one, just so that people can see this new series if it's pretty good. We'll try it out. Okay. Before we go off, I wanted to talk about one last thing. That was a lot of fun, by the way. I really like this. It's not always easy. I think it's going to be fun to like hone in the experience, like hone in the skills and the and the language, the rhetoric of talking about art that we've never seen before, and art that is not necessarily particularly, doesn't have like the whole like popular, so like art that we've never seen before. Yeah, I what I'm gonna do, Narrow, is I'm gonna take turn this into like try to edit it down and post it as a Sharkist video, but in collaboration with the canvas, and see how that goes. Okay, what was I gonna say? One last thing before we're gonna stream again. I don't know when, but soon we will. We'll continue doing this. It's gonna be interesting to like hone in the skills and the rhetoric of engaging with artworks that have maybe never been engaged with in public before. It's not like looking at a Monet or like at a Pollock. So it does require some practice, and we're gonna practice together. Because I do need chat to tell me what they think of artworks as well, to sometimes influence me, as they have in this last video. So thank you so much. I want to talk about one last thing, because yesterday I've watched a movie, and I'd like to talk about it. Because I'm not going to make a video about it, but it's still a cultural phenomenon strong enough to chat about it somewhere. And you are the audience I decide to chat about. Maybe about it. Maybe I'll make it a segment. We'll see. Yesterday, I watched. I went to the theaters, and I watched a movie by Christopher Nolan called The Odyssey. You might have heard of it. Pretty big production, 3-hour movie. And I watched it non-IMAX 70mm. There's one location in Montreal that does offer it, but it's booked until like August, unless you're ready to sit in the front. Maybe sitting in the front is actually not that bad. But I just went to watch it with my family. I watched it at 3 p.m. and I'll be honest, I fell asleep. I was tired yesterday. Like after the movie, I slept for like 12 hours. So that shows that I was tired, but I did fall asleep during the movie. I didn't fall asleep long enough to not be able to appreciate it. So I don't think it's an issue that I fell asleep. It's not an issue. I don't think so, in my appreciation of it. Just the way Homer intended. Homer intended you to fall asleep. In general, and I think the fact that so much of the experience, and it is kind of sold to you as an experience, the fact that it's sold to you as an experience, and so much of this experience hinges on the visuals, the cinematic 70mm IMAX video experience extravaganza thing, makes me think, all right, what they're promising me here is an experience that is going to be like visual, kind of a roller coaster. I'm expecting to go there kind of as like a roller coaster, an amusement park ride, which kind of calls back to like Martin Scorsese, who's like, Marvel is not real cinema. It's what do you call it? Amusing park? I think he called it amusement park. I don't remember. But I was expecting to go to see Odyssey as an amusement park ride, as a spectacle, as Debased Gnome Child said. And Well, that's what happened. It was a spectacle, and honestly, like, it's an experience that sometimes is really fun, right? But it was spectacular. My Letterboxd review, I think, says exactly that. I think it's a spectacle. Oh, I didn't say spectacle. I said spectacular. Spectacular, but with the highs and lows of spectacles. I fell asleep in the theater. For a big part of it, it felt like a slow and edgy Pirates of the Caribbean. it did really feel like that, honestly. I stand by it. Edgy and slow Pirates of the Caribbean. But not necessarily in a bad way, right? Like, it can still be good. It can still feel like the itch of like being entertained and like seeing like really nice images. But it did feel like an experience at a theme park. Echo Carney's speech. Are you trolling? Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah. I'm coming. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah. There's there. I wasn't. Some people may talk about casting. Black people didn't exist back then. Some people are mad about casting. I am obviously not mad about casting. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. Some people are mad about some like technical aspects. I'm not mad at it. Fuck it. Like, none of that was an actual were an actual issue for me. The base gnome child said black people were invented in 1950 by MLK. Can someone fact check this? I'm not sure. When he says Ethiopia is like on the second page of the book. These people's brain would break watching a local play. I know. Good thing they don't watch plays. Good thing that wherever they live, plays are not accessible to them. Yeah, the casting anger is so juvenile. I know it's always a thing. So I think, and I feel like it's been less of a topic just because they get angry every single time. So like, we had I talked about this in the Antifa video, just like a quick apart like a side thing. You know how like when you get canceled like at a university campus, the argument is that, oh, you're giving them more of a platform by canceling them on university campuses because now they can act as victims and blah blah blah. Mark Bray in his book Antifa talks about how eventually this victimization kind of loses its interest when it happens over and over and over again, to a certain point where, you know, when people get canceled for the 200th time on a college campus, the media stops caring about it because there's nothing new to chew on. And I feel like the casting thing the casting anger thing has had the same effect happen to it. Because now people are like, oh, trans actors and black actors in period movie, grrr. That's me going grrr, but with a rolled R. We're like, at this point, we shrug. It's like, yeah, okay, move on. And I feel like it didn't have the same impact or the same way to outrage, or the same potential to outrage as it perhaps did back then. I don't know if the outrage is still important for Odyssey, but from what I've seen and what I've experienced online, the outrage about the casting has been pretty tame. And you've seen it, and most people are laughing at it at this point. I've seen a lot of people laugh at it. So I don't know if it's... Anyway, I didn't want to talk about that. What I did want to talk about is perhaps the most important part of it, which is starting at like coming to the end. I was like, okay, well, there's not much to talk about, honestly, with this movie. There's not much. Like, the themes are like universal themes. The child, the son looking for the father coming back, very Jesus coded, God coded, blah blah blah. War never changes. Am I right? things like that. I was like, okay, well, this was purely spectacle and nothing more. But there is one theme that is kind of hammered on you over and over and over again. So I feel like they really wanted a theme to transpire from this that could have like some echoes with today's situation, instead of just being a spectacle. And this theme is the one of, it's a decorative movie. It kind of was, until, if you take it away from its actual substance, it was. If you make abstraction of the substance of it, and the substance was hammered over you, and I feel like there was this insistence of saying, okay, this is what we're trying to say. This is what we're trying to say, because maybe there was like a kind of an insecurity about maybe not having substance and just being a spectacle. And the substance was Zeus's law. Zeus's law. And I think the Zeus's law, they keep mentioning it over and over and over again. And it's the idea of treat others as you'd like to be treated, because the other person could be a god in disguise. So especially when it comes to welcoming them into your home. So when you welcome them into your home, you do it because maybe this person is a god in disguise. And you kind of, so that's why you wouldn't want to deceive people. This is why you don't want to lie to people, it's because of Zeus's law. And they mention it all the time. And at first you don't really understand why they mention it. And I think you understand why they mention it only at the end. At the end, there's like this this reflection on the whole history of the Trojan horse. Yeah, the fear of consequence versus following virtue is kind of whack. I agree. But the whole, basically, the whole movie feels like it's a reflection, at least the conclusion, feels like it's a reflection on what did the Trojan horse symbolize? And Odysseus has this moral thinking of saying, well, the Trojan horse, what it did is that we broke Zeus's law. We broke trust between people by breaking Zeus's law. We faked giving them a horse, like a present, and it was a poisoned present. So they thought we were giving them a present. We actually invaded them through that present, and because of that, well, they don't exist anymore. And now, from now on, because of this story, because of the Trojan horse, we cannot trust anyone in any way, because the consequences of trusting someone could be that. Meanwhile, Zeus's law could bring trust, but now we can't. And the way I saw this is, how has there been recently a paradigm shift where international law and international relations have kind of fallen because of a specific event or the introduction of a new element in international politics? When have we had like this Trojan horse in international politics, where now more than ever nobody trusts each other, where there was kind of like this rule, unspoken rule, that kind of made it so that there was like laws in war, where there was like the gentleman's law, kind of. Sean's maestro and connecting the dots. That's how I saw it, and that's what I mean by the to go back to my second. Wait, where is it? Oh no, the letterbox. To go back to the second part of my review, where I talk about Mark Carney. Because Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, did a speech at one point where he was like, yeah, the paradigm has shifted. America fucking sucks now. It always has. But the paradigm has shifted in a way where we can't do things as we used to do it before. And that's why I said I'm not a huge antiquity buff, but I do like the Trojan horse is presented as the death of tradition and a change of paradigm, echoing Carney's speech, following with a period of instability and collapse. So that's how I saw it. And of course, I linked it with Trump and with this paradigm shift. That being said, I think in a good way, Odysseus sees it as a paradigm shift where the Trojan horse idea made it so that people didn't respect Zeus's law or whatever. But throughout the whole movie, we see that Zeus's law doesn't actually work. It's not a nice law. You see it when people overstay their stay at the palace of Odysseus. They use Zeus's law to like eat Odysseus's food for like 3 years, I think. Right? Is that stability? Is that the stability of Zeus's law? People fighting, people feasting, people getting drunk at this guy's palace while slaves are feeding them and like getting food for them. That didn't feel very nice and stable. When they invoke Zeus's law to go to this witch's hut, and this witch turns everyone into pigs. Spoilers, but it's Odyssey is a very, very old. There's no spoilers to be given. She turns these guys into pigs. That was Zeus's law, but it, like in the sense that he sees it as a paradigm shift, but it's not like the previous paradigm was that good to begin with. Yes, we kind of abided by Zeus's law, but did Zeus's law work in the first place? Like, was it actually working, or did it just have the appearance of working? And I think you can apply that to Trump as well, right? Like the Pax Americana or whatever, the American hegemony over world politics. Yes, the paradigm kind of shifted, and now it's not working anymore. Did it work before? That's the question I'm asking you. All these retellings of Greek myths feel like Disney live-action movies of classic cartoons. Kind of felt like that as well. The paradigm changed enough that Canada cannot just ignore it anymore, is what Carney meant. Yeah. But I think that's the paradigm shift that is noted, or at least that's the one. That's how I interpreted it, maybe from my Canadian perspective, when I watched The Odyssey. That's how I saw it, and I think it has value because of that, the movie. And I think it's worth it because of that, but I did fall asleep. And I feel like a lot of it is take this as an experience, take this as a roller coaster ride. IMAX 70mm. This is true cinema. But I didn't feel much. I didn't feel much. And a lot of it, like at the end, like when some people die, it does work. Like people in my cinema were clapping, going, "Oh!" and they were clapping. So that's good, right? People are reacting, but I think it's reacting in a spectacle way, in a spectacular way, the same way you would react to sports, rather than to like actual storytelling. Or maybe it's fine, right? Maybe the spectacle is a way of talking of like storytelling with its highs and its lows. And PF Porlock says, I found the film pretty boring, to be honest. That's the issue, right? I just watched as well the movie Jeanne Dielman, the 3-hour movie of someone doing chores, but it's meant to be boring, and because of that, I respect it. If, in case you don't know Jean Zienman, it's over 3 hours actually. It was let me just share it with you in case you don't know. In case you don't know it. Jean Zienman, 23 Quai du Commerce, 1080 Bruxelles, is a 1975 art film written and directed by Chantal Akerman. In 2022, it placed first in the decennial critics poll published by the British Film Institute's magazine Sight and Sound. Best movie ever made according to 2022. According to the year 2022. Feminist film. But it's slow cinema. And it's 201 minutes. So it's 3 hours and 20 minutes. And it's just a lady doing boring housework, chores and stuff. But you know what? I can respect that. I can respect it because, well, that's the idea behind the movie. It's to show you, it's to bring you inside the world of a housewife. She's not exactly a housewife. Go watch it if you want. But to bring you to the world of housework, unpaid labor, that is invisibilized, and show you how painful that shit is. And you feel the pain. But that's the whole concept of the movie. But with Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, also 3 hours, it's supposed to, it has the pretension of keeping you on your toes the whole time. And eventually, I don't know, I just fell asleep. Because it's hard to, like, it's like, oh, when someone's trying to keep your attention for so long by introducing action scenes, there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of, you know how they say, show, don't tell, but there's a lot of telling. There's a lot of telling in this movie. So yeah, I just, it's hard to get hooked and to respect the intention the same way I did when I watched Chantal Akerman's movie. Pyranarchy says, I hate that we are trying to retell old myths that already were good stories before. We don't need to give them give new spins to these stories. There's a reason they survived for so long and are still read. I agree. I agree with that. You know, there's the whole idea of like, is creativity dead? I don't think creativity is dead. But you know, with all these like sequels, how a lot of times just tell the same stories, or we have a hard time introducing new IPs, things like that. I think this may be part of it. I don't think it's necessarily the death of creativity. It's maybe the death of risk taking in Hollywood. You know, Odysseus, like, oh, this is like the Odyssey. This is going to be an action movie. It's based on like one of the oldest stories out there. I think making up a story and trying to sell it as a 3-hour adventure movie is going to be a bit less, maybe less safe or appealing to movie CEOs, the CEOs of movies. If you sell them as like, oh, this is a story that people like, that people know, and there's a way to like maybe sell it that way. But that being said, I haven't read the Odyssey. I've never read Homer in general. I did like, as I said in my review, I did love how it's a reflection on the consequences of the Trojan War and like especially the tactic of the Trojan horse. I don't know if that's spin or if that's what the original story is about. But I did like that. You should see what Emily Wilson, the translator for the book, has to say about this movie. Is about how how the movie was interpreted. Because at the same time, like, it is an interpretation, so it's not going to be 100% faithful, and I'm okay with that. My pet theory of storytelling is that stories must be retold through the lens of new times until the end of time. This caters to those among us who connect more to direct and tangible symbols and experiences. Visually or thematically? In the sense that, like, visually, of course, like, with like the whole, like, you know, these motherfuckers are on like wooden boats rowing their way through the Mediterranean. But thematically, I feel like, yeah, like I said, like those themes that are echoing still today, that will echo all the time. Nolan's always after a bigger and bigger spectacle, so he can slow it down with a lot of moody characters and dark, depressing vibes. Yeah, and it was sold as a spectacle. Politics got turned into sports, and now everything becomes sports more and more and more. Did I tell you this at the last stream about sports? My professor, who I love, I had in May, the professor started talking about how sports are actually fascist. I fucking loved it. And I sent him my video on Bad Bunny on sports and spectacle. This is chocolate. On sports and spectacle. And he said he was going to quote my video in his book on sports and fascism. I'm very excited about this because I think there's definitely something to be said about sports, spectacle, and fascism. The whole World Cup thing, FIFA World Cup, I think really gave me a deeper perspective on the links between sports and fascism. And yeah, did you know that domestic violence reports peak during FIFA World Cup games? I didn't know that. Exxon says it's important to be bored. I agree. It's good to be bored. But if someone's like, hey, I'll give you something for 3 hours, it's going to be an experience. And the experience is boring. And it's not meant to be boring the same way Chantal Akerman's movie is. That I think they failed. Okay. A lot of you are talking. A lot of you are chatting. What about Alexandre? Alexandre, since you speak French, I assume you speak French. It's Alain Deneau who told me about this. Who's gonna, if you don't know him, look him up. Alain Deneau. Fucking love Alain Deneau. Okay, Winnie says, Emily Wilson after watching The Odyssey. The film presents Odysseus who feels very bad about things that he's done in war and is struggling to process them in a very modern psychiatrized way. And he's struggling to do so. He seems to feel bad about being a warrior, and we never actually see him get to do much warrioring. That's good. Nolan makes the protagonist a likable all-American hero. Homer Odysseus wants glory, and he wants to get spoils from the sack of a city. Okay, no, hold on. Sorry, my head was not in the right space when I was reading this. Nolan makes the protagonist a likable all-American hero. Homer's Odysseus wants glory, and he wants to get spoils from the sack of a city. I kept looking in vain for a sense that this was a film about glory. This is a film about that has an interest in shame, but I don't think it has any interest in glory. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Nolan is like, yeah, Odysseus is an American. An American veteran who feels really bad about what he's done. And it's so edgy and so dark because what he's done was so disgustingly dishonest. Because Americans are so fucking honest. The Argentine team certainly behaved like fascists when they lost. I didn't see it. I didn't read anything about it. but I heard about it. Oh, really, Sneaky? They did like anti-FIFA protest here in Zurich, or FIFA, not the anti-FIFAs, anti-FIFA terrorists. I can't believe this. Actually, if we're gonna complain about casting, we should complain about all these American-looking actors pretending to be ancient Greek warriors. No, we're not gonna complain about casting. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna hop on the bandwagon of complaining about casting. Anti-FIFA, my favorite terrorist organization. Okay. We've done enough. That was a lot of fun. We're gonna stream again, look at more artists. We looked at 4 artists today, and I had a lot of fun doing so. Next time, first we're gonna have chat screen, and second we're gonna chat. We're gonna be more prepared when showing you displaying artworks. So thank you so much for watching. Should we stream? We'll do a raid. You can say hello to the person. Kind of. Let's see if there's any leftist streamers streaming right now. Oops, leftist. So that way you could say hello. We have 2 of them. You get to choose. We could just say hello, encourage them, and if you want, then you can leave. Yeah, is there somewhere I can see a replay of the stream? I put the VODs on the Shonarchist YouTube channel, which used to be Terminal. But I'll try to make a condensed, edited version of it that will be posted on Shonarchist, and here. All right, so we have Lysel's Learning and Wonder. We will outlive their bigotry. Both are leftists, but I don't know how we feel about VTubers or whatever. So we're gonna go to Lysel's Learning, unless we want to go to Wonder. But Wonder's verified. I don't know what that means, but there's a Discord as well. Discord is in chat right now. I'm gonna... No. Anti-you, Fashawn? No. There's nobody anti-me. Except for all the artists who have roasted. Okay, we're gonna raid. There you go. Say hello for me. Say hello. Act nice. Leftist unity includes VTubers. You're right. But we're gonna go for like the smaller channel. Okay, goodbye. See you in the next stream. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe after tomorrow. Who knows? Start raid. Okay, we're raiding in 10. Join the raid. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next stream. Did it work? Oh, there you go. Raid now.
Supreme Court decisions ever made. You ought to be able to limit IEs, and I don't care if it's coming from business